a little more heat and fire and power, so you could toss in some fire floats or double chaturangas. Sometimes you're looking to back off and slow down, and that's perfect too. So you do you and make this practice what you need on this gray, cloudy Friday morning. We're starting down in a child's pose, arms stretched out long in front of you, hips sinking towards your heels. Forehead can rest down onto the mat. And just take these first few moments and settle in. Make that very deliberate shift from everything else you were doing before you came to class to being right here on your mat for these 45 minutes. It can be especially hard to stay with yourself in the practice when you're doing this through a computer versus live and in person. So really give yourself that permission to ignore all other distractions. Be here on your mat, breathing in, breathing out. And if you'd like to practice by setting an intention for your practice today, go ahead and let your mind settle in on a word or a phrase, whatever it is that reminds you, why are you here? What do you need from this? We'll take 3 more breaths in child's pose, settling in. And then rise up onto all fours. And just start to warm up your spine by moving back and forth with cat-cow. So we inhale and look up. Exhale and rounding, tucking chin to chest. Inhale, let the tailbone tilt as much as it can. Exhale, the pelvis is tucking under here. Stretch out your low back. Take about 3 more back and forth. Maybe you wiggle side to side or rock your head side to side. Whatever you need. And then tuck your toes, send your hips high, down dog. And again, just wiggle around. Pedal the knees, shake the hips. Drop your chest back towards your thighs. Press the hands forward and down. All these little things just kind of settling into this shape. And then 3 more breaths here. You can just be still if you like. On your next inhale, rock forward to a high plank and stack yourself right there. Shoulders over wrists, belly button toward the spine, support your low back. Reach back through your heels and the crown of your head reaches forward so you're getting super long. 1 more great big breath in, and then exhale, press back down dog. And let's keep doing that with our breath to warm up the shoulders a little more. So inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, press up and back down dog. Inhale, slide forward. Exhale, press back. 3 more times, inhale. And exhale. Last one. And then walk your hands back to your feet at the back of the mat. Let your knees bend, hang in a ragdoll. Sway side to side, maybe a little twist side to side. And then press your palms down into the mat and walk them forward. Really play with the feeling of taking weight into the arms as you walk the hands forward to down dog one more time. Breathe into it. Exhale out. And then lift your right leg up and back behind you. Really press it back super strong. As you exhale, rock forward, touch knee to nose. Maybe even tap your nose. Boop. And then press it up and back. Then cross it under. Right knee finds the left elbow again. Really tap it. And then take it back. And then right knee comes back to the right elbow. And press up and back. One more time, bring your knee all the way up to your forehead. And then step your foot in between your hands. Lower your back knee down, untuck the back toes, lift yourself up. This is one of my favorite sequences, building the strength through the core and the shoulders, and then catching my breath, sinking down into my hips here. Lift the crown of the head high, stretch through the fingers, breathe. One more inhale here. You can play with it being as much of a back bend as feels good. And then as you exhale, bring your hands down and draw your hips back. Come into a half split. And just kind of say good morning to your hamstrings there. Maybe wave the foot back and forth a little bit. Internally rotating, tapping the big toe down. Externally rotating to hit the baby toe. Good. One more breath here. And then rebend the front leg. Tuck the back toes under, lift your knee up, step back, go to down dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Lift your left leg up and back. The same sequence on the left side. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, press back. Exhale, cross under, touch the right elbow. Inhale, press back. Touch the left elbow. Inhale back. Knee to forehead, round your spine, and step the foot forward. Lower the right knee down in the back and lift yourself up. Reach tall. Two more breaths here. Play around, wiggle into this shape. Find out how it feels good for you today. And then hands come down for that half splits. Draw your hips back. Flex the left foot. Folding forward over the left leg. Maybe you play with rotating the whole leg. Internally rotating, touching the big toe to the mat. Externally rotating, touching the baby toe down. You can wiggle back and forth. One more breath in half splits. And then bend your front leg, hands to the mat. Tuck the back toes, step back, down dog. Take a great big breath in. Exhale it out. Look forward, step in as few steps as possible. So take, if you can, one big step to the top of the mat and then forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold in half from your hips. Stand up, reach tall, look up, and bring your hands to your heart. Good, let's take some classic sun salutations. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Hands down to the mat, feet step or float back. From a high push-up, you go down to a low chaturanga. Inhale, come to up dog. Exhale, press back to down dog. 3 breaths here. As you exhale, bend the knees, look forward. Inhale in as few steps as possible. Step or hop, feet to hands. Halfway lift at the top of the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Stand up, reach tall. Exhale, dive right back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands go down, feet step or float back, right down into chaturanga. Inhale, come to up dog. Exhale, back to down dog. 3 breaths. We're starting to warm things up. Heart might be beating faster, breath is moving. Big inhale. Look forward as you exhale. Step or hop, feet to hands. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Stand up tall, reach up. One more time, exhale, dive right down the middle. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, back to chaturanga. Inhale, pull your heart up. Exhale, press your hips back. 3 breaths again. Prepare and look forward. Feet to hands, top of the mat. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Stand up tall. This time, hands find your heart. Take a moment, a breath or two. Check in with yourself and notice. How does it feel to get moving today? How are your muscles? How's your breath? How's your mind? And then let's keep playing. So big toes come together to touch if they weren't already. Your heels have a little bit of space in between them, and that's actually so that the outside edge of each foot is running parallel to the outside edge of your mat. That's kind of a little marker you can look for. Then squeeze knees and thighs together, sit down for chair pose. And let's play with what's happening in your butt and your pelvis here. First, we're gonna exaggerate and stick your butt out back. Notice when you do that, you get a really big arch and curve in your low back right there. Then go the opposite way, tuck your tail under. All of a sudden the low back got much longer. So if you feel pressure in your low back, lengthening it this way by tucking your tail under will help to relieve some of that pressure. It's also probably a little harder work in chair pose. Let's stay for 2 more breaths. And then exhale, forward fold. Take your feet hips width apart. That's about 2 fists between your feet. Grab your big toes with your first 2 fingers. Hold on tight, look forward. Can you flatten out your spine? And then hinge at the hips and pull yourself into this nice big stretch, forward fold. Breathe here. Release your toes. Halfway lift to your flat back. Exhale, place the hands down and make your way back to down dog. You can step or float, flow, or just go right into the down dog shape. So many options. And then here we all are. Breathe in, breathe out. Lift your right leg up and back. Use that knee to nose movement to step your foot in between your hands. Rise up into high lunge, reach to the sky. Good. And then just like we did in chair pose, you can play with the tilt of your pelvis and what's going on in your low back here. So you can exaggerate it, kind of send your butt back, tilt it in one direction. That's not particularly comfortable for me. I don't know about you. And then go the other way to tuck your tail under. As you do that, you might need to bend your back knee a little bit. That'll straighten out the low back, but add a lot of stretch into the hip flexors. Keep the arms up high. We'll take 2 more breaths. All of this is to say none of it is right or wrong. It's playing with your body and noticing what you need to feel okay and great in the shape. All right, hands go down. Take it home to down dog, however you choose to get there. Breathe into it. Exhale it out. Again, inhale. Exhale. Left foot reaches up and back so strong. Touch knee to nose, rounding your spine, and step the foot forward. Rise up into your high lunge. You've got about 5 breaths or so to play and figure out the shape in your body today. What do you want to do with the pelvis? Can you stack the ribs over the hips? Can you soften shoulders down your back? Let go of any tension that might be hiding in your jaw or your face. On your next exhale, hands to the mat. Take it back to down dog. And then take a nice big breath in. Exhale out. Inhale. As you exhale, look forward. Step or float feet to hands, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Stand up tall, reach up. And exhale, hands to heart. Let's take that chair pose once again. Squeeze knees together, find that center line, reach the arms high. Breathe here. Last big inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Once again, take your feet hips width apart. You can take the same forward fold, grabbing those big toes with your first 2 fingers, or perhaps try putting the hands all the way underneath the feet. Yeah, and then work the legs straight. Work the fold, pulling your chest down towards your shins. Breathe. Let's release the hands. Halfway lift, flatten out your back. Exhale, press the hands down and find your way back to down dog. You can flow or just step right back into it. And then everybody breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Right foot reaches up and back. This time, step it forward, and we're going to spin the back heel down and come to warrior 1. Just playing with that subtle little difference between high lunge and warrior 1, the back heel being up or down. But man, it really changes things by spinning that back heel down, right? Now you got to work to keep the hips pointing forward, the ribs pointing forward, the shoulders pointing forward. There's an external rotation happening in that back leg. Good, and can you sink into that front knee just a bit more? Looking strong. One more breath here. And then exhale, hands to the ground, back to down dog. Two breaths here. And then the left side. Inhale the left leg high, step it forward, spin the back heel down, rise up to warrior 1. Settle in. Two more breaths. Feel your feet pressing down strong. And then hands down, back to down dog. Great big breath in and out. We're just gonna stay here. I'm not gonna make you do any more chair poses. So let's take the right leg up and back. Touch your knee to your nose, step it forward, this time going to warrior 2. So spin your back heel down and now rise up. I'll switch so you don't get the front instead of the back view. Your right knee is bending toward 90 degrees. It does not have to be at 90. Your back foot is pointing straight over at the long edge of the mat. Arms are reaching. Strong core through the center. And then just play with what's happening in your pelvis. Take the exaggerated tilt in one direction And then exaggerate it the other way, tucked under or popped out. And then find neutral. That's where you want to be. Long low back, neutral tailbone, shoulders soft, everything happy. Flip your right hand up to the sky. Reverse your warrior, reach it back along behind you. And then straighten the front leg so it's a reverse triangle, both legs straight. Rise up on your inhale, reach your hands forward over your right toes, setting up triangle pose. And when you've reached as far as you can reach, then transition it into triangle. Beautiful, breathe right there. Use your next inhale to rise up right into the center. Rebend your front knee, the right knee. Big breath in. And then as you exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Make your way all the way back to down dog. With or without that flow is totally your choice. Great work, everybody. 2 big breaths in down dog. Remember, if you wanted to bump it up, you could take a fire float there. If you want to bump it down, you could take a child's pose there. Or just stay in stillness. Good. And then let's keep going. Left leg reaches up and back behind you. Step it forward. Warrior 2. Left foot is in front. Spin your back heel down. Reach the arms forward and back. Hips, ribs, and shoulders are pointing at the side of your mat, the long edge of your mat. Yeah, settle in. Keep your left knee stacked over the left ankle. It probably wants to tip inward a little bit here. So the work is to pull it back, straight up and down. Nice. Then flip your palm, reverse your warrior, reach back. Straighten the left leg, reverse your triangle. Keep all of that space in your upper body. Reach forward, turn it into triangle pose over the left toes. 5 big breaths here. This bottom hand is not meant to be a kickstand, right? We're trying to build some core strength in legs and hips, so we're not leaning down into that left hand. All right, inhale, rise back up. Rebend the left knee, warrior 2. Big breath in. And then cartwheel your hands down. Take yourself all the way back to your down dog shape. Good, nothing fancy today. Just slow and steady through the movements. We know they work. Big breath. Let's take the right leg up and back one more time. Step it forward, rise up to warrior 2. Good, warrior 2, right leg is in front, arms reaching strong. Flip your front palm, reverse that warrior. Keeping the right leg bent, rise back up and go to extended side angle. So your right arm can rest here on your thigh or press that palm down towards the ground or a block. Left arm is reaching up and over, giving you so much stretch and space through the left side body. A few more breaths here. Could you pull the left shoulder back, open your chest towards the ceiling? And then rise back up, warrior 2. Big breath in. Exhale, cartwheel, hands down, go back to down dog. My guess is you're feeling some work here, some sweat. Notice how you're doing. Use the breath to smooth things out. And then lift your left leg up and back. Step it forward, warrior 2 first. Good, flip the palm, reverse the warrior, stretch. And then extended side angle. So again, the left arm can rest on the thigh or down to the floor. The top hand is reaching up and over. Notice how the breath is moving here. Can you fill up your lungs and empty them out? And can you do it all with some softness, some sweetness in this pose? It's not all a struggle or work. When you're ready, rise back up, warrior two. Take a nice big inhale, and then cartwheel the hands down. Back to down dog. Really, really nice work. Two cleansing breaths together in your nose. Open your mouth, empty it out. Inhale, fill yourself up. Let some stuff out. Good, and then come down to your knees. From our knees, we'll take some camel pose back bends. Let the feet be straight back behind you. Reach the hands to the sky. Swim your hands back. Place them at your low back. Fingers can point up or down, your choice. Elbows hug together and get taller. Lift the crown of your head up. Lift your heart and your chest higher. Draw the elbows closer together. Yeah, 3 more breaths here. Rise back up on the inhale. Swim the hands forward and then have a seat down on your heels. Take a breath or two, neutralizing things. We'll take 2 more rounds of camel pose as our back bend today. Know that you can take it as far back as you like. Just think about your hips still pushing forward and keeping length through the spine. When we let go of all that lengthening, then we start to compress and the vertebrae get a little crabby about things. So we'll try it again. Come up to the knees, reach for the sky, hands come around to your low back. Lift your heart high. Allow it to go as far as it feels good for you. Perhaps the hands drop down toward the heels. Nice. Are you still breathing? Hopefully. And then use your strong core, rise back up. Swim the hands forward, sit back to neutral. One more round of camel. You'll take 5 breaths, and then you'll come back up. On your time, with your breath, go ahead. We'll all meet sitting in that neutral tall spine. And then after you've had a breath or so with it in neutral, then you can forward fold down into a child's pose. And just notice as you come into child's pose, how does it feel? Because we're bending the spine gently, subtly, in the opposite direction of what we were just working. So if there's tightness and if there's tension in muscles around the spine, they might be talking to you, letting you know. One more breath, deep down into your body. Let it out. Good. And then from here, press up and back to down dog. One more time. Take 3 breaths in stillness in down dog. Noticing any shifts, any changes. How is it now? Then lift your right leg up and back behind you. Bend the knee. Think about kicking yourself in the butt with that right heel, but the right knee is lifting up towards the ceiling as much as you can. And then while all of that's happening, also try to keep both shoulders pointing down at the mat. One more nice big inhale here. Exhale. Then step that right foot all the way forward. We'll set up a half pigeon pose. So the right shin lies across the front of the mat. Lift your chest tall. Find center. Then you can forward fold right down over the right leg. If possible, let your head rest on something, the ground or your hands or a block or a pillow. Good. Yeah, and then I see lots of you are already going there. If you have other variations of this pose and this stretch, please take those if they work for you better today. So lying on your back or sitting tall with one foot crossed over your knee. Whichever option you're taking, 5 more breaths, smoothing things out with that breath. Good. If you were in half pigeon laying down, lift your chest slowly, sitting tall, and then we'll sit off onto your right hip and swing the back leg around. If you were on your back or seated, meet us here sitting up tall. We've got the right leg bent on the bottom, the left leg stacked on top, knee over knee or something headed in that direction, depending on how your hips feel about that. Sit up nice and tall. Take both arms high to the sky. Let's give the shoulders and back a little love here too. So the right hand drops behind your head. The left hand reaches over and grabs that right elbow. Gently pull the right elbow in towards the center. And if you can, use the back of your head to kind of press back against those arms so you're not caving in, or as little as possible. Good. Option if you'd like. You can take the left hand out, turn the palm to face back behind you, and reach back behind you and grab hands. I've got a little shoulder tweak thing happening today, so I am not taking that option. Yeah, everyone looks great. Take 2 more breaths here, sitting tall wherever you are. And then untangle your arms. Let those shoulders relax. And just melts down in a little puddle over your legs. Your head might rest on the top knee or kind of out and over it. Breathe here. Bring yourself all the way back up. And then we're going to work back towards that half pigeon on the left side. If you took a different variation and wanted to just stay seated or lay down, go ahead and just go there from here. If you're headed back to the half pigeon, you'll cross at the ankles, rock over, and find down dog first. And from down dog, you can take that moment of lifting the left leg, bending the knee, stretching that way. And then as you're ready, half pigeon with the left leg in the front. Whichever variation you took, allow yourself to come into stillness. Notice the breath moving in your body. Give yourself 3 more smooth and steady inhales and exhales. Nice and easy. Lift your chest. Sit to the left hip. The right leg wraps around. So we'll meet here from whatever pose and variation you were in. Sit tall. Left knee is bent on the bottom. Right knee is stacking over the top. Lift your spine nice and tall. Arms reach up high. Left hand drops behind your head. Right hand can pull a little on that elbow. Give it a little nudge. And then the option again to take the right hand out and behind you, if that's working in your shoulders today. Either option, keep a tall spine, crown of the head lifting up towards the ceiling. And then relax the arms and forward fold over your legs. Lift your head up. Bring your hands back behind you, untangle your legs. Bring the feet to the mat, knees are bent. And then give yourself a big rock, side to side, a couple of times. Okay, sitting up nice and tall, arms reach forward. Let's take a boat pose, one last little burst of effort before we find our rest. So with a tall, long spine, start to lean back. Lift one leg, maybe lift both legs. Those shins are parallel to the ground. If you've got it in you today, straighten those legs all the way out. I don't think I do today. Breathe here for 5, 4, puff up your chest, 3, 2, and then as slow as you want or as you can, lower all the way down to the mat. When you get there, take a big full body stretch. Hug your knees into your chest, give yourself a squeeze and a rock side to side. Then hold on to your right knee as you straighten your left leg down to the mat. Guide the right knee across your body to twist and extend the right arm out. Look over to that right hand. Coming back through the center. Switch the legs, hug your left, straighten the right. Pull it across your body to twist. Extend your left hand out and look over at it. Come back to center. Hug both knees one last time. Squeeze everything in. And as you exhale, let everything go for Shavasana. Give yourself a moment, get all the little fidgets and fixes taken care of. And then when you are ready, find stillness. And for the next 2.5 minutes or so, just be still. Without changing anything, just notice. How are you? Your body, your breath, your mind. And begin to deepen the breath. Let some movement back into your fingers, toes. Head rocks from side to side. Take a big stretch, arms up over your head, feet reaching long. And then turn onto one side. And for this last moment of your practice today, tell yourself thank you. As always, it is a gift to carve out time to take care of yourself. It recharges your batteries so that you can then go out and take care of everything else. So tell yourself thank you for that. And as you're ready, rise back up towards seated. We'll meet with hands by your heart. You can close your eyes if you like. We'll end our class together with 3 big breaths. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Bowing forward, we honor this beautiful practice of yoga for all that it has to teach us, mind, body, spirit, on the mat and off. Thank you all so much for joining in today. Have a wonderful Friday, a wonderful weekend, and I hope to see you all soon.